June 11th, 2017, and my name is Bill McCamley. I'm a state representative from Las Cruces and Mesilla with your legislative update for New Mexico for the day. I am out in Kermit, Texas. Kermit is a building and a couple of windmills, but also, I don't know if you can see behind me, but there are about 40 or 50 large wind turbines out here on the east side of the state. So I was just in Clovis for the Science and Technology Interim Committee. It's one of the things we do in the legislature. And we spent a lot of the time yesterday talking about wind energy. In fact, Xcel Energy, which is the organization out here, has just gotten to a project for one of the bigger nationwide projects for wind energy. And we had a presentation from them, as well as a place called Invenergy, which is a tech company focusing on green energy resources, specifically wind, in terms of production and storage, which is a really, really big deal. So there's a ton of geography out here. And in fact, right that way, there's about another 50 or 60 windmills. And so in West Texas and eastern New Mexico, it's one of the best places in the country to do wind generation. So what does that mean? It means we're able to produce, when the wind is blowing, lots and lots of energy. There's some issues though, right? Transmission is one of the biggest problems. So if we produce a lot of power here, how do we get it to California, get it to the rest of the United States east of here, and how do we make sure that as we produce more and create more jobs, that energy can get punched out of state? That's a real issue because a lot of folks don't want these transmission lines. Environmentalists don't want it crossing certain areas. Ranchers don't want it going across their land. A lot of cities and counties don't want it. A lot of Native American tribes don't want it. So that's a real issue. And in fact, the word choke point was actually used by some folks regarding wind energy. The other issue is, how do we get the jobs created to maintain all of these wonderful windmills out here? And Mesalands Community College out in Tucumcari has a specialized program for that. And that's some of the long-term jobs that can be created once the initial construction goes down. We also had a presentation from Cannon Air Force Base regarding what they do out here. They run a special operations division. So you may know the V-22 Osprey, which is the plane, but it can also function as a helicopter because it has rotating nacelles on it. They have a lot of C-130s and some actually more civilian type planes that they use to get special operations forces around the world. And they actually have a lot of participation by other branches, so Army and Marines generally, but also other NATO countries out at the Melrose Range. It's a great thing for the local economy. It puts hundreds of millions of dollars into the economy here in Curry and Roosevelt County, and it really helps with the state as well. So as many of you know, a few years ago they had BRAC, the Base Realignment and Closure Committee, the federal government. We were lucky to really stay off that list, and that's one of the things a lot of the delegations here in New Mexico are trying to avoid, as I'm on the Economic Development Committee, and if those dollars go away, it really kills a lot of the jobs that we have here in New Mexico that we can't afford to lose. Last thing I want to say though regarding to energy again is that I also noticed today, for the first time ever, more money is being invested in green energy and storage and grid capacity around the world than it is in oil and gas. And so when we pull out of the Paris Climate Treaty, these are the sorts of worries that many of us have in terms of making sure that our communities and our nation gets those long-term jobs. If private sector money is going into these new technologies and we get left out of the lurch, trying to hold on to coal specifically and other fossil fuels, it's going to be really bad for our economy. So just wanted to illustrate what's going on out here. Thanks again for watching these things as always. And if you have questions, comments, or concerns on these or any other issues, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks, y'all. Bye.